So hey everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Rich, I'm the channel host, and normally people who visit here are interested in drones, building a small drone business, doing drone construction, mapping, and modeling. Also, a lot of people stopping by here are also stopping in because we do talk about imaging a lot, so different cameras beyond just drones, doing editing afterward, doing video as well. So this channel is more than just about drones. Right now we're recording on the Canon M50, and earlier today I took it out to actually do some still photos. So that'll be coming up in another video episode in the near future. Right now I wanted to talk to you about a new little project that I'm going to be doing here on channel. We're going to be doing 5-minute edits with Adobe Photoshop Lightroom Classic. So you can expect to see regularly over the coming weeks and months just some normal edits that I would do, whether it's for fun photos or whether it's for business photos. So 9 times out of 10, if you see stuff from the drone, it's probably for a client. If we're talking about still images from places like the Grand Canyon and Route 66, it's probably for fun and it's probably going to be one of our 5-minute edits. Today, starting the series out, we're going to do 2 images from the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. Now, I've been going through a lot of my old images over the past few months as we're building a new class over on Teachable for beginners to Lightroom Classic. So if you have any interest in that, be sure to like and subscribe down below and we'll let you know when that class comes out. And in the meantime, we're going to start this series with 5-minute edits, and we're going to start it out with 2 images from the North Rim of the Grand Canyon. So go ahead and check them out. All right, everybody, so here we are with our 5-minute edits in Lightroom, and today, first one is going to be a shot of the Airstream and the Nissan Titan hanging out near the north rim of the Grand Canyon. So this was a trip several years ago, and as I've been doing my new Lightroom class over on AZ Drone, I've been sorting through a lot of old images, so I decided to have a little bit of fun here, and let's start playing with this. Number one, we're gonna pick Adobe Landscape. All right, that greened things up. That kind of warmed things just a little bit. Now that we've got that set, we're gonna grab the sky. So number one, select that sky, and we're gonna do some work on the sky. Let's drop the highlights all the way down, and that makes a big difference. Let's bring it up, bring it down. There we go. I would also like to introduce a little bit of dehaze because we want some punchy poppy clouds here. And oftentimes they are a little punchier than what the sensor captures for us. Okay, first part done. We've improved the sky. I'm feeling pretty good about it. Next step, I do want to make another mask because I would like to make the Airstream in the truck a little edgier. So I'm going to create a new mask. We're going to grab a brush here and keeping this under 5 minutes, right? So number one, I'm going to punch the clarity up to 100%. That's way, way overkill. And but we're going to go for it anyways. Also, I'm going to push the flow up to 100%. So we're just going to be masking this in here really quick. It doesn't matter if I go over by a little bit into the main scene. It's not going to damage anything. But yes, this is definitely looking edgier than it was before. Let's see that overlay. Make sure that we covered just about all of it. Missed the top just by a little. And let's show that overlay again. There we go. Feeling pretty good about that. Now, let's go ahead and close this this mask here real quick. One of the other things I wanted to do, maybe I want to use this as a banner somewhere else, or maybe I want to use it in one of my videos. So I'm going to actually first, under the crop tool, we're going to unlock this. We're going to go from original to the 16:9 format, 1920 by 1080. And let's go ahead and show more of the sky than the foreground. Maybe we'll pull that up right in there. One of the other things in here, maybe I'd like a little vignetting around the edges. So let's go down to effects and let's do highlight priority. So we're just bringing that in just a little bit, and I'm liking that look. Actually, you know, maybe that was a bit over the top, so put that right to about there. And looking at my histogram, everything's looking pretty cool. So let's take a look under the before and after. And definitely before is much flatter, not as much going on. And the after, we've punched things up a good bit. And we also have that crop going on in there and that little bit of extra edginess on the Nissan Titan. All right, So let's stop this one here and find out if this is under a 5-minute edit. All right, everybody. So here we are again, and we're looking at another image from the North Rim. The first 5-minute edit only took 3 minutes and some change, and it's probably going to be the same with this one. But I figured I'd do two of these in this intro series that we're going to be doing. And so hopefully at least once a week, we'll be doing a couple of 5-minute edits with Lightroom, with drones, with standard DSLRs, with camera phones, with mirrorless cameras, you name it. We're going to be doing different sets of images with different cameras. So I want to do this one too, because this is probably not a location familiar to a lot of people who have visited the Grand Canyon. We're on the North Rim, and on the North Rim, they do have a nice smaller welcome center and visitor center, and it's nowhere near the size of the stuff on the South Rim. So the North Rim is not visited as often. Now, before we start into the edit on this one, this is going to be the most dramatic. I just wanted to show you that we were photobombed by a dragonfly at the North Rim. So there's that dragonfly. We're going to keep the dragonfly as we go through this video as well. So first thing we're going to do, I'm going to hit the D key for develop. By the way, I am assuming that you have some Lightroom knowledge. So we didn't go through the Lightroom library setup or anything like that. But so I do have an expectation that you've got some experience with Lightroom. If you don't, we're going to have a new series coming out in the near future over at classes.azdrone.net, and I'll be announcing it here as well. All right. With all that said, let's go over. We've got the editor bar on the right-hand side. We can crop things, we can make masks. First thing I'm going to do is go to the profile. It's one of the newer tools on here. I'm going to do Adobe Landscape, and that warmed things up a little bit. So just a touch, maybe I'll go to Adobe Vivid instead, darken things down just a little bit more there. So the first thing that I'm seeing here, the sky's looking all right. This could be an okay standalone photo, but just not the best. So first thing I am going to do now that we've selected Adobe Vivid, I'm not doing anything else on the screen yet. We're going to go up and we're going to grab ourselves that masking tool, which is also one of the newer features in Lightroom. And it really is a great feature. I'm going to select the sky here. And it's done a really good job. It's even seen some of the sky through the window in here as well. So one of the things we're going to do, I'm going to drop the highlights really quick. And right away, let's see the difference that dropping the highlights bought us. So that's a big difference there. I'm also going to bring the dehaze up just a little bit. There we go, to plus 15. And so we are well on our way. We've got mask one done here for us. And I'd say the sky's looking a lot better. Now the foreground and the middle ground here, we've got a lot of shadows in here, which is the reality at the Grand Canyon. You've got all these canyon walls, the sun's hitting one side, not hitting another side. We're going to create one more mask for the lower part of this image. I'm going to select the sky again. One of the nice things though is that under the select the sky, we can invert this, which I'm going to do. So now it is covering the building, the stone building, and also out into the canyon. It's also covering our dragonfly as well. So one of the things I'd like to do is bring the shadows up here just a bit more. So let's bring them up to plus 50, and that's looking pretty nice right there. And we could leave it at that, but I'm also going to just warm things a little bit. I'm going to move the temperature just to a little bit warmer. I think plus 10 is good in here. And the other thing I would like to do is add some clarity to this as well. We'll do plus 15 there. And that's looking pretty nice to me. By the way, take a look at the window and the clouds that got captured in the reflection here. That's looking really nice. And the other window on the other side is a little blown out. I mean, we could go in there and paint that in as well with another mask and a brush, but I would say that we're pretty much all set here. I'm going to go turn off that masking tool for a moment, and I noticed that there is a tourist near me apparently, and they had their sneakers up on the rock or on the stone wall here. So one other thing that I'm just going to do ever so slightly, we're going to crop this in. We're going to keep the original aspect ratio. So right here under the crop tool, I'm locking it to the original aspect ratio. And all I'm going to do Let's just bring this in a touch to get those sneakers out of this. And hey, this isn't something you'd see for sale in a gallery, but this is a nice vacation takeaway image. So if it's your first visit to the Grand Canyon and you feel like maybe you didn't do so great on some of your images, they can always come in here to Lightroom Classic and get cleaned up very easily. Before we leave this one, let's go ahead and take a look at the difference. So we could spend a little more time fine-tuning this, of course, but I think we've got a nice little image, and it's an image that you won't see shot by a lot of people visiting the location. We're always looking for those big sweeping views, but there are more things going on at the Grand Canyon, both north and south rim. There's a lot more to see than just the canyon. And you might see that in an upcoming 5-minute edit because we did a fair amount of off-roading on this particular trip up to the North Rim. All right, everybody, I hope that this new series with the 5-minute edits is helpful to you. Whether you're a drone operator using a DSLR, using a smartphone, using a mirrorless camera, uh, Lightroom is a fantastic way to do simple edits and really improve your images quickly in a short amount of time.